everyone is doing well. It's been a while since I've checked in. I'm really excited about today because recently we've been having a lot of games, especially with the national teams. And today we're going to look at Spain and one action or one set of actions that they used against Ukraine. Thought it was very interesting. We'll look at the team in black here as being in Spain. We're in a 4-3-3 with two eights. Um, and one of the interesting things were the way they pressed, because they pressed with a line of three, uh, and Ukraine wasn't able to kind of dictate the spaces of where to win the ball. There were some triggers that we looked at, but Spain were very comfortable. And there are two sets of actions that we're going to look at when the ball is with the center back here. And based on the movements of these players, based on the spaces that Ukraine allowed them to take, what they were able to do to be able to get out of that pressing action. So, for example, this player was always pulled by the outside back. I believe it was Nava. And if Thiago came here, he pulled the player out. So if this player was pulled out, the winger came inside to create a passing lane, but only if this player was pulled out. Okay, because sometimes it looked like this and he was like this, so the winger didn't have to come in. The winger didn't come in. In fact, it was almost always get out of the space, play somewhere else. So let's take a look at that action first. So if you notice, the space is created here. There it is. He pulls the player out, and on the right side, it was always the winger that was going to come in. So this time they weren't able to find an opening there, but in this side here, it was very interesting because if Rodri was here and Thiago was occupying the right interior, that meant that he needed to get higher to create space. So Fati didn't have to come in, but the 9 did at that point. Okay. So there's a 9 checking, and off you go out of pressure. The idea is to be able to find a place to play to break the next line. So we'll pause it here, and there's the look. There's the winger inside. This is the right back. So let's take a look at that one again. The ball's here, and if he's already high, and Rodri was in the middle, then then Thiago was more or less staying in that space. What happened here in this action was he would press the ball here or cover the space here. And this player would normally take this space here. There was coverage, and then player in. So this space in between. So that's when the 9 was able to come into this space created around in between players. One of the interesting things about it is it was never like to create numerical superiority. It was about pulling players to a space to be able to take advantage of the other. So we'll go back to the last part. And you'll see it here. It's a little bit more clear. Thiago is very low, and there's your winger inside. At this point, if he can turn, which he does, now we see a better picture here. Thiago, the right 6, was pulled this low. This is the right back, and Sergio Ramos ended up as a right back. He ended up as a right winger. But in this moment here, it's all about penetration, because you were able to find a big amount of comfort, which we talked about, the amount of space around the ball, and he's able to play the ball long across the field to Fati, and that's a penetration moment. Okay, so if at any time, wherever the ball is, you're able to find comfort that will take you to the next line, to attack the next line, that's where you want to go. So let me know if you guys have any thoughts about this. I thought it was a very interesting game. We'll talk about a little bit about how they pressed tomorrow. See you guys on the next one. Thanks, guys.